distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaste and a very good morning. My name is Mandira Maharshan and I have the pleasure to announce that I will be the master of ceremony of this Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025. We would like to acknowledge the gracious presence of Honorable Dr. Arju Rana Deuba, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nepal, who would also be chairing the session. I would also like to kindly request ma'am to proceed to the stage. Thank you. We would also like to acknowledge and welcome on stage Honorable Mr. Ain Bahadur Shahi Thakuri, Minister for Forest and Environment of Nepal. We would also like to acknowledge and kindly invite up on stage Honorable Ms. Rupa BK, Minister of State for Forest and Environment of Nepal. Also, we would like to acknowledge and kindly invite up on stage Mr. Eknarayan Aryal, Chief Secretary of Government of Nepal. Thank you. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today we also have one great news to share amongst you all. Mountaineer Danta Bahadur Chatyal, Assistant Sub-Inspector, Armed Police Force, has successfully summited the Mount Everest today, this morning, 9:18 a.m. He had received the flag and banner with the inscription of Sagarmatha Sambaad from Right Honorable Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli in the month of April 2025, and today he has successfully summited the Everest. He has shared a picture and a video from his summit, which we will be sharing during the session. For now, without further ado, I'd like to kindly request the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs to chair the closing ceremony of Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025. Ma'am, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, Chief Secretary, Secretaries of Nepal Government, all the dignitaries who are here today. First of all, welcome to this last session, and thank you so much for being here right to the end. That really gives us a lot of encouragement and also shows your commitment to the whole issue that has been raised at this Sambaad for this time. And namaste and greetings to all of you. It is my honor to chair this closing ceremony of the Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025. As we come today to the third and final day of this historic Sambaad, I stand before you with immense gratitude and a deep sense of fulfillment. The three-day event has been very successful in terms of the quality of discussions and commitment to the cause of protecting our snow-capped mountains. It was also successful in highlighting their contributions to humanity as a whole, and as well as extreme vulnerability of the mountains to climate change. I'm extremely delighted to note that there was a strong recognition in the Sambaad that mountains are on the forefront of climate change impacts and vulnerabilities. They are giving us yet another strong signal that the world is at a great peril because of global warming. The time to act with ambition is now. Snow-capped mountains provide water, energy, food and ecosystem services not only to the people living in the mountains, but more comprehensively to the people living downstream. It is a global public asset. We all agreed to protect it for humanity. Thank you so much for that commitment. As we agree on the predicament of the mountains, it is only natural that we all must act urgently at all levels, be it local, national, regional, or global. But the global actions or inactions are impacting the mountains so much that there is greater responsibility of global actors, even more than before, to mitigate GHG emissions and support mountain countries to adapt and build resilience with finance, technology, and best practices. We would work together with the coastal countries and island countries to raise awareness globally about the interlinkages of the rapid melting of glaciers leading to floods and disasters on the lowlands and ultimately the sea level rise. The devastating consequences of the salinization of water, submersions of cities and infrastructure, and devastation of livelihood of people due to global warming has been highlighted, and I think we have taken it very seriously, and responses, success stories have also been shared, which we hope from this forum we will carry forward at the grassroots and at the ground level. This edition of the Sagarmatha Sambaad brought together voices from political leadership, policy makers, experts, academia, youth, civil society, international organizations and communities from the highlands to the islands in a spirit of genuine dialogue. The last 2 days were busy for a reason. This is now time to reflect on our hard work in the opening, in the plenary session, in the 12 parallel panels, and in several related side events. Now, to share what all we have done, I would need 1 hour to just go back trying to recap the sessions. So instead of doing that, we are going to play a short video, because all of us know that a picture speaks 1,000 words, and this video will give us highlights about some of the activities that we undertook in the last 2 days. I request the organizers to please turn on the video. Thank you.
Good morning and namaste. It is both a deep honor and a heartfelt privilege to welcome you to the inaugural edition of Sagarmatha Sambaad.
I also hope that this forum will be an opportunity to contemplate on the linkages between climate change and regional and international peace, security and stability, as well as the impacts of climate change on migration, food security, humanitarian crisis and disaster risks.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a world full of distractions and competing priorities, we need to maintain focus and momentum. Azerbaijan is committed to playing its role to keep climate action high on the international agenda.
This Samvad, therefore, is not just a forum for discussion. It is a call for collective, concrete action. It is also an opportunity to pool our wisdom and scientific expertise, share our experiences, and forge robust partnership to safeguard these critical ecosystems and the communities they support.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful recap. I hope everybody was in it. I was almost embarrassed to see myself in many frames. Maybe I should be a bit edited out. But thank you so much. I think that was very nice, and thank you to the organizers, especially the team, the technical team which put the, the video together. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I also wish to inform you that Nepal has issued the Sagarmatha Call for Action. It is, Sagarmatha Call for Action 2025, which will be uploaded on our website, and I hope you all can also go through it. And thank you for your support and cooperation in this aspect. Now I go to the third agenda of this closing ceremony, and the agenda is to request Mr. Eknaran Aryal, Chief Secretary of the Government of Nepal, to deliver his remarks. Yeah, please, you can go to the stage. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Dr. Arju Rana Deva, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Government of Nepal. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliaments, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar and good afternoon. It gives me immense pleasure to speak at this important phase of the closing ceremony of the first edition of Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025 on the theme of the climate change, mountain and the future of humanity. The encouraging presence and the participants of high-level dignitaries from our neighboring and friendly countries, representatives of regional and international organizations, and the various stakeholders in this Sambaad is evidence of the success of this goal dialogue platform initiated by Government of Nepal. The 3 days Sambaad has been truly memorable moment for us, which provided an opportunity to deeply engage and echo our voices together for rapid and robust action for reduce the adverse impact of climate change that humanity is facing today. The message of the Sambaad has been loud and clear. Climate crisis is real. We have no excuse to delay in our response. Dialogue and the cooperations are key to inspire collective actions. Over the past 2 days, we engage in vibrant, inclusive, and meaningful discussions. These deliberations, which remain very rich with the insight, best practices, and the shared aspiration, have been best captured in the Sagarmatha Call for Action 2025, issued as the outcome document Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025. Honorable Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me highlight the common understanding of the Sagarmatha Sambaad that we have all reached today. The Sagarmatha Call for Actions underscores the vital role of the glaciers and mountain in securing water, food, biodiversity, health, and disaster resilience. It highlights the disproportionate impact that nations face, especially mountain and indigenous communities, from climate change, despite their negligible contribution to this crisis. We have recognized that the climate crisis is rapidly melting glaciers and destabilizing the cryosphere, triggering the devastating consequences not only in the highland, it also the lowland and the coastal areas where resilience depends on the glacier feed systems. In the response, we have called for urgent science-based climate actions to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. We agreed on need for more ambitious and inclusive effort in the adaptation and the mitigations to achieve lifeline goal. Through this common understanding, we emphasize the importance of strengthened international collaborations, particularly in mobilizing climate finance, enhancing the access to the technology, driving innovations, and sharing knowledge and the best practices. Furthermore, it calls for simplify the equitable access to the climate finance and increase support to vulnerable communities and the countries. Likewise, we have underlined the need for climate resilience, investment, and innovative finance solution. Our commitments to the UNFCCC and the Paris Agreement and the 2030 Agenda remain firm and unwavering. We have stressed on the need to advance clean energy transitions, promote nature-based solutions, and invest in the robust early warning system for mitigating and minimizing mountain risks. We reiterate our call for creation of the dedicated fund for mountain countries, along with the global platform on mountains and climate change. Together, we have been able to develop the common understanding is forging partnership for all protection of the global common good. In a nutshell, the Sagarmatha Sambaad call for action reaffirm the earnest belief in the dialogue and the discourse as a catalyst for global solutions. Honorable Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, standing on the global platform, we call a united voice and collective action for just resilience and the sustainable future for all, from Sagarmatha to the sea, and from the highland to the island. This dialogue has been the series of discussion ranging from the humble opening to plenary session, along with the highly interactive parallel sessions to enthusiastic side events and the exhibitions. The sessions focused on shared visions and the wisdom to fight the climate crisis facing the planet, but has also been the platform of convergence of our commitment. We also recognize that words alone are not enough. The true success of the Sagarmatha Sambaad lies on this conversation in Kathmandu and elsewhere, but in the action we commit to uphold anywhere. Against this backdrop, it is imperative to raise the steward and amplify the voices of the vulnerable, empower and people on the ground, and ensure that mountain, forest, oceans, coast, and communities remain safe and generations. Let the spirit of Sagarmatha call for actions guide us towards and the path to clarity, encourage and the collaborations to achieve resilience and hope. Let us make a resolve to stand together, act decisively, and ensure the resilience, sustainable and vibrant future for all. I thank you for your solidarity and commitment in providing the organic link between mountain, glaciers, oceans, and the shores. I wish you all the safe journey back home while committing even strongly, and Nepal always remains at the forefront in the fight against the climate change, in the protecting mountains, glaciers, crossfed and the ocean and the communities and the civilizations that depend on them. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, Chief Secretary, for the excellent summation of our 3 days, and also a glimpse of what is going to be, what is in the call for action. Now, of course, I'm not going to let you all go without saying our last few words. So please bear with me for a few more minutes. Again, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me highlight that this dialogue has been just more than just an event. This historic event has been a convergence of minds and a celebration of shared responsibility. I am happy to state that this Sambaad has evolved as a platform to make yet another powerful call that climate justice demands an enhanced and comprehensive level of support to the most climate vulnerable countries which are on the forefront of global catastrophe. And your commitment and your willingness to come here to discuss this issue has been indeed encouraging, not only for us Nepali people, but for all citizens of vulnerable countries like ours, and also from the countries where you all have come, where maybe you all are safer than us, but I think there is a very clear understanding that we all have a shared future, and we all live in this one planet Earth. Thank you for that great commitment and understanding. Furthermore, this forum has clearly stressed that the mountain agenda should be collectively promoted by all stakeholders, together with the island countries and supported by the international community at all global and regional forums. This Sambaad has shown that dialogue can cross borders, geographies, generations and disciplines, just as Sagarmatha stands tall, reminding us of our resilience. Let the outcomes of this Sambaad remind us of our resolve. It is beyond a doubt that mountain issues need to be highlighted in all relevant UN processes like climate change, water, energy, food security, SDG high-level forums, and even the forums for peace. So we would like to take the mountain agenda to the development finance institutions and all other relevant regional and global development forums to sensitize the global community about the climate change impacts on mountains and the global consequences of melting glaciers and water-induced disasters and the destruction of lives and livelihoods and their culture far beyond the mountains. We count on your strong support in taking forward this agenda in the days forward. Let us turn this dialogue into action and declarations into deliverables. On behalf of the Government of Nepal, I extend heartfelt thanks to all the ministers, high-level dignitaries, and participants for lending support for the successful organization of the Sambaad. Without your presence here, this would not have been possible. I would also like to acknowledge every speaker, panelist, moderator, delegate, youth representative, volunteer, organizer, and partner for their contribution. I would like to especially thank all the Nepal government bureaucrats, partners for relentlessly working to make this Sambaad a resounding success. And as you know, behind the scenes is there's a lot of volcanic action. But when we come to the forefront, then it's all peace and calm. So I thank everyone for being able to change from a volcano into a peaceful ocean whenever we came before all of you. I think that needed a lot of resilience, and I thank everybody for that. I also thank the interpreters, security personnel, the Solti Group and its hospitality staff, volunteers, event managers, technical teams, and all the friends from the media. To those who traveled from afar, we hope you return home enriched and carry a part of Nepal with you in your hearts. May your journey be safe and may our paths cross again, perhaps in other forums, but perhaps again in Kathmandu in 2027 for the second edition of the Sagarmatha Sambaad on another defining issue. And maybe by then, I know it's been very helpful that we have moved along a lot in the climate change issue, and maybe there'll be a lot more happy stories to share, or maybe there'll be another issue that we all need to put our minds to. But I hope to see all of you back in 2027 as well. Until then, let the message from the top of the world echo across the valleys and oceans. Dialogue leads to understanding, understand leads to action, and action leads to hope. Thank you and namaskar. And I think this brings us to the close of the Sagarmatha Sambaad Edition 1. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Arzu Rana Deuba, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nepal, for doing the honors of chairing the session and concluding the closing ceremony of Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever edition of Sagarmatha Sambaad 2025 has now officially come to an end. We have the official photo session. Thank you, Honorables. Thank you very much for your precious time. Also, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we would kindly like to also inform you that the lunch will be served at 1 p.m. at Manjari Hall. Please kindly be reminded that the lunch will be served at 1 p.m. at Manjari Hall. We hope to see you all there. Have a great afternoon. Thank you. Thank you very much.